Welcome back to Worship Plus. I'm so excited to be here with two of our special guests. We have two incredible partners of the Grove who are in the education field. This month in November, we are recognizing and celebrating different heroes in our midst. And this week, through the Grove Honors, we are recognizing our educators. We have Brother Joshua Smith, who helps to lead our men's ministry, and Sister Crystal Hicks, who also helps in our scholarship ministry. And I'm so excited about these two guests. Let's start, ladies first. Mrs. Hicks, will you please just let us know what you do and where you serve?
All right. Well, I am a first grade teacher at Robert Churchwell Museum Magnet Elementary School. It's a mouthful, but it's a school located in North Nashville.
All right. Brother Josh, will you tell us what you do and where you serve?
Yes, I am a high school math teacher at STEM Prep High School, located in South Nashville.
Very well. And thank you all for being here today, as well as thank you for the service you do to our community and for our young people. I want to jump right in. Brother Josh, what made you want to become an educator?
Actually, that's an interesting question because originally, I never planned on being an educator. I really planned on getting into banking and, finance and things of that nature. But I received an educational offer at a school, and I just kind of grew to know the students. And I have never left education since. So I like to say the thing that education found me. It's just such a beautiful thing connecting with the teachers and students. And, I'm still in education to this day.
Wow, that's amazing. And we're grateful that education found you. And I'm certainly, your students are grateful that education found you. Certainly, we need more Black male teachers, and certainly teaching in math and science and those important, not that any subject is not important, but those very vital subjects. Mrs. Hicks, will you tell us what led you to become an educator?
I don't think anything led me. I think I was just born with it, in my bones, in my spirit. I just knew that was something I always wanted to do. My brother is 5 years younger than I am. And then I have a close cousin who's also 5 years younger. So I would babysit them a lot, and they would be my students. And so, I've had jobs, working in daycares at churches when I was younger. It's something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do it. And I've taught all over, from Cary, North Carolina, rural schools, to suburban schools. I've been in Charlotte, Atlanta, DC, here. And I don't think I couldn't do anything else. It's been challenging, but, I never tried to leave the path of teaching. I love it. I love it. I've got 3 more years to go. I'm at my year 27.
Wow. Listen, we would have never guessed looking at you. But I always think that teaching is a calling.
Yeah.
You have to be called to give as much as you all give. We know sometimes you are teaching in unideal situations, and certainly this school year is been a stretch and a challenge to every educator. And students and parents alike. We don't want to minimize this, but I know teachers give of themselves, buy supplies. And even when the pandemic started last school semester, or school year rather, there were teachers who were taking of their own money to mail out handouts and packets, and just making sure that their students were still on track. And this has been a tough and challenging, let me say that, a challenging time for educators, and which is one of the reasons we want to celebrate you all, because you all are amazing. You all are like the Avengers. And we want to celebrate you all. But I I see as an outsider some of the challenges to the education system.
Mm-hmm.
But can you all speak to some of the challenges there are to the education system or educators that you see, the biggest challenges that you see? Josh, we'll start with you if you can share that.
Yes. There are a lot of challenges in education and things of that nature. However, I will say that as educators, we always like to, look at things through a positive lens. One of the main things that students are challenging with right now is the social interaction amongst other students.
Mm-hmm.
So that is not allowing them to speak with their friends, and social emotional learning and things of that nature is a big part of child development. So it's just a huge challenge when students aren't able to interact with their peers. Education is also supposed to be cooperative as well. So you're supposed to be learning together, learning from one another, and things of that nature. So I believe that's one of the biggest challenges. I also teach high school. So, students are, since they don't have to get up and go to school, a lot of them are staying up very late, coming to class tired, because parents aren't necessarily, saying that they have to go to sleep earlier because they don't have to wake them up to catch the bus and things of that nature. So a lot of students are going to sleep like 3 a.m. and then getting up trying to focus in class around 8. But there's a lot of different challenges, but we try our best to push things in a positive perspective, and push and motivate our students to learn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Josh. Mrs. Hicks, would you like to add into that?
It's interesting, high school level and then elementary. I think for what I've seen is like funding and just equity is a challenge. And I think that it was an eye opener for society when we first went into the pandemic, and our students didn't have access to technology, Wi-Fi, just things that we kind of take for granted, like it's every day for us, but these kids don't have it. So Dr. Battle did a great job at getting those materials and items into their hands, but for elementary, learning knowing how to work a laptop. They're so accustomed to like an iPad or an iPhone, so they're touching, the screens. Well, they can't use a mouse, so when you have to click something and drag, they like, what is that? So it's I think, high school and elementary challenges, but just different. I have 20 students, and a lot of them are with grandparents. Grandparents really have no idea on how, to work a laptop. And when you were mentioning the SEL, that's, I think important also for elementary, but elementary kids just being able to sit still in front of the, computer from 7:45 until 3. We get breaks in between, but it's been a challenge. I mean, we see and we hear everything. I had a student yesterday who she would, put her finger in her mouth, and then she would cover the cam. So, just silly stuff like that, so it's been challenging. It's for kids as well as teachers, because this was a learning curve, especially for older teachers like myself. This was a learning curve for me, Schoology and PowerPoints and sharing your screen and, that kind of stuff. So I've been fortunate. My son is home with me. He's working remotely from his school is in New York, but it's been a blessing to have him at home to help me kind of maneuver through. But, I'd say this the biggest challenge, I think, for everyone, especially kids who are in low income areas, just equity and funding. And hopefully with this new administration coming in, Secretary of Education that we have now moving out, and our new First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, who is an educator, hopefully, I think it'll be a change. I think we'll see some good things coming. So yeah.
Can I say
Yes,
one more
Brother
thing real
Josh.
quick? Yes. I also just wanted to just like parents know and things of that nature. I think is very important right now that that we would also like take control of our education in regards to looking at teachers as being a resource but not the source.
Right,
Simply
right.
because in 2020 we have all of this technology and things of that nature where students can access all of these different educational platforms and things of
Mm-hmm.
that nature. So like I agree with everything that Ms. Hicks said, because it hasn't been fair for us. So
Mm-mm.
I do not want us as a community to rely solely on the teacher, but seek the teacher as a resource.
Right.
Because there are a bunch of books and a lot of online platforms that are free of charge that will help our students get what they need to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think you all, thank you all for being here, first off, but also thank you for sharing your experiences and the challenges that you all face, and certainly highlighting that it certainly takes a village
Yeah.
um, to raise children and to educate children. It takes the teachers, it takes the guidance counselors, it takes the home, it takes the church, it takes all of us to help educate our children, and we all have to be equally engaged and involved to do this right. And I know it's hard, it's difficult. Parents are in an unprecedented situation and time, but we all have to invest that time and invest into our young people because they truly are our future. In the words of Whitney, they are our future. And we have to teach them well and let them lead the way, right? And so I'm excited. If every teacher had the same positivity and the same enthusiasm as you all had, I think we'll build an incredible world for our future with our young people. I wish I had teachers like you all. And I just want to celebrate the fact that I think I was in high school before I had my first Black teacher.
Oh wow.
And so to be able to see elementary teachers and even high school male teachers is an amazing representation matters. And so we want to celebrate you all as the Grove. The Grove, we recognize the hard work you do. Now, we can't pay you for the hard work you do, but we want to give you a little token to share how proud we are. And we want to honor your service. You are incredible educators. Mrs. Hicks, I think you were one of the national teachers a few years ago. You won the National Teachers Award.
Not to brag and toot my own horn, but
Shoot
uh,
it.
I've been a two-time blue ribbon teacher for Nashville, and then I was last year inducted into the Hall of Fame as an inspiring educator with the Nashville Public Education Foundation. So Nashville's been good to me. Yeah.
She's simply saying she a bad teacher, y'all. And so
But when
I'm
I
excited
win,
because she's
when
part
I
of the
win,
Grove.
I told my kids, when I win, they win.
That's
Because
right.
when I applied for those and I was honored, we celebrated together because I won because they helped me win. So yeah, we're together. It's a team.
We're excited and grateful for your both of your contributions to the world, knowing that the students that you impact, they don't just impact that school or our city, but they impact the world. And we're grateful that you all are influencers to young minds. And so the Grove, we have a love gift we're going to share with you all. You'll receive that virtually. But Watson Grove, help me celebrate and help me salute two of our finest educators, Brother Josh Smith and Sister Crystal Hicks. Thank you all so much for being here. Pastor Faison, we want to turn it back over to you. Thank you.